Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi yassir wa la tuassir wa tamim bil hayr. Rabbi zidni ilma. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you all are doing well. This is the mathematics book D3 and that is the updated 7th edition. And today we will do exercise 10A, which is about congruency of our triangles. And today we will do questions of intermediate level. Let's start, students. Now, students, question number 4. In each diagram, identify a pair of congruent triangle and prove that they are congruent. The triangle is A, B, D, and B, C, and D. And you can visualize the triangle that A is equivalent to C, and B is a common in both triangles, and D is also common in both triangle. And if you visualize like that, if you close that, A comes on C. That's why the both are equivalent. And we can write it like that: A is equivalent to C, B is equivalent to B, and D is equivalent to D. And now we see the sides which are equivalent to each other. AB is equivalent to BC. This line showed that the both lines are equal to each other. AB is equal to BC and AD is equal to CD and BD is equal to BD. That is common side. And these both sides are given to us, given in the question, because they are marked. That side is equal to that side and that side is equal to that side, and we can see that the three sides are equal to each other, so we can write, therefore the triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CDB. And why they are congruent? Because of that congruency test, side are equal to each other. Now, students, part number B. Part number B, you can observe that the two triangles A, D, and B, and B, C, and D. You see that the if you close the visualize it that A is common C, and that both are equivalent to each other. A is equivalent to C, B is equivalent to B, and D is equivalent to D. Now we can see that AD is equal to BC. AD is equal to BC. That is given to us. And DC is equal to AB. This also given to us. And third side BD. BD is equal to BD because this is common side, and hence therefore the triangle AB and D congruent to triangle AB and D, B, C and D, because side congruency test, and that's prove it that the both triangles are congruent to each other. Now, students, part number C, you can see that that line is equal to that line. That's why A is equivalent to E. A is equivalent to E, and that B is equivalent to D. And C is equivalent to C, that is the common. And now we can write the lines which are common to each other, which are equal to each other, that AC is equal to CE. AC is equal to C and E, and that is given to us, given. And CD is equal to CB, is equal to CB, that is also given to us. and angle C of this triangle is equal to angle C of this triangle. Angle C, you can write it like that, angle ACB is equal to angle CDE. DCE. And why they are equal to each other? They are vertically opposite angles. Vertical opposite angles are always equal to each other. Those lines which cut each other and their vertical, these angles are called vertical opposite angles, and these are equal to each other. This angle is equal to this angle, and this angle is equal to this angle. Now we can write there and vertical opposite angles. These are vertical opposite angles. Now we prove the congruency test, side angle side, and therefore triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DCE. And which test is applied on it? Angle side angle. Now since that the part number C. Part number D, in part number D, AD line is equal to BC line, and that's mean A is equivalent to C. A is equivalent to C and B is equivalent to D. And A is equivalent to C, B is equivalent to D, and again C is equivalent to A. Now students, which lines are equal to each other? Angle AD. Now students, line AD is equal to line BC, and that is given to us. And now that side AC is equal to CA, and that is a common side. And now you can observe that are these are the two parallel lines, and which line cut it? This angle and this angle. These angles are equal, are alternate angles, and alternate angles are always equal, and it means angle DAC is equal to angle ACB. Angle DAC is equal to angle ACB. Why they are equal to each other? Because they are alternate angles. Alternate angles. And now the triangle ABC. Therefore, the triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ADC, and due to which congruency test they are equal to each other, we prove by side angle side. And now students, the part number D is solved. Now students, part number E. In part number E, you can observe that the angle is given to us, A is equivalent to C, and B is equivalent to E, and D is equivalent to D. Now the side CB is equal to side AE, that is given to us. That mark show that the both lines are equal, and that is given to us. We can see the angle B is equal to angle E. Angle B is equal to angle E, and that is also given to us. And now we also observe that this angle A and angle C is also equal to each other. This is also given to us, and now we have proved that the two angles and one side are equal, and therefore the triangle ADE is congruent to triangle B, C, and D. And the because of that congruency test. And now students, the E part is solved. Students, part number F, we can observe the triangle CDB and EDF. These are looking alike. First, we have to find the equivalent sides. Uh, B, B is equivalent to E, and then you can observe that this side BC is equal to side EF, and that's why the C is equivalent to F, and left D is a common, and it means D is equivalent to D. And now we can see that the BC line is equal to line EF, and that is given to us. An angle B is equal to angle E. This is also given to us. An angle B. Now you can see angle BDC and angle FDE are equivalent to each other because these are vertical opposites angle. Now students, angle BDC is equal to angle FDE because they are vertical opposite angles, and therefore the triangle CBD is congruent to triangle DEF because of angle side test. Now students, this prove on it, and part number F is solved. Now students, part number G, you can see that these side equal to AB is equal to BC, and these equal to AD is equal to CD, and that's why the A is equivalent to C. And you can also visualize it by you can visualize that when you fold it, C comes on A. B is equivalent to B, and D is equivalent to D. And AC is equal to BC, that is given to us, and AD is equal to DC, and that is also given to us, and the BD is common side, common. Therefore, the triangle ABD is congruent to triangle BC and D. And that which test is applied on it? Side, side, side. And because of this congruency test, these and these both triangle are congruent to each other. Now students, part number G is solved. Now since part number H, the triangle, you can observe the triangle ADC and BD and C. You can see that the A is equivalent to C, and B is equivalent to D, because both has 90-degree angle, and C is equivalent to A again, as A equivalent to C, and then C is equivalent to A. Now the side AD is equal to side BC, that is given to us, and angle D is equal to angle B. Angle D is equal to angle B because that is 90-degree angle, is equal to 90-degree angle, and the side AC and CA both are common sides. And now therefore this proved that triangle ADC is congruent to triangle ACB. And which test is applied on it? Right angle, hypotenuse, and side test. That is right angle, this hypotenuse, and one side is equal in these triangle. And That's why the both triangle are congruent to each other. And now students, the question number 4 is solved. Now students, question number 5. In the diagram RTV and STU are straight lines. RT is equal to VT, ST is equal to UT, and RS is 4 centimeter. And angle SRT is 80, that angle. And in part number A, prove that the triangle RST is congruent to triangle UV and T. That triangle is equal congruent to triangle this. First we have to prove it. You can observe that the when visualize it, when you place that triangle, when you fold it, the that line is equal to that line, and it means S is comes to U and our R in comes to V when we place that triangle on this triangle. And that's why the R is equivalent to V, R is equivalent to V, and S is equivalent to U. S is equivalent to U and T is equivalent to T. And that RT that is given to us, RT is equal to VT, this is given, and ST is equal to UT, this is also given. These are given to us, and now we can observe that the angle RTS is equal to angle UTV, because there are vertical opposites angle. These are vertical opposite angles, that's why they are equal to each other. Vertical opposite angles, that's why they are equal to each other. And we prove that the triangle RST is congruent to triangle VUT. And which congruency test is applied on it? And that is side angle side. And now students, that is the part number 1. Now it's solved. Now part number 2, find UV. We have to find that line. What is the length of this line? Since both triangles are congruent, you know that we prove it that the triangle RST is congruent to triangle UVT, and then we can write that UV is equal to SR, which is equal to 4 centimeter. UV is equal to RS, which is equal to 4 centimeter. And now students, that is the part number 2. Now we have to find the part number 3, find UVT. UVT, we have to find that angle. And you since the both triangles are congruent, that's why the angle is equal to that angle, 80 degrees. Since the triangle RST is congruent to triangle BUT, and that's why an angle SRT is equal to UVT angle, and this is equal to 80 degree. Hence proved. Now since part number 4, hence other than RS and UV, what are the conclude about the line RS and UV? They said that these lines are what you conclude, what you can find from this line, that lines are equal. When you see these lines, what you find in it, what you conclude in it, these are equal lines. Uh, Except from that, and these are parallel to each other, we can see easily that the RS is parallel to UV. And now students, that's we conclude from these line. And now students, the question number 5 is solved. Students, question number 6, in a diagram GH is equal to JI and GI is equal to JH. This line is equal to this line and this line is equal to this line. That is given to us. In part number 1, identify a triangle that are congruent to triangle GHI and prove that they are congruent. First, we have to identify which triangle is congruent to triangle GHI, and we have to prove that. We are identifying that the since J is equivalent to G and I is equivalent to H and H is equivalent to I. You can visualize it by placing that triangle in this triangle. You see that the part I is come in H and G on J and H on I, and that's why the points are equivalent to each other. And is Ji is equal to GH. Ji is equal to GH, and that is given to us. Given, and JH is equal to GI. JH is equal to JI, and that is also given to us. Now students, HI and HI, that is the common side. That is common, and hence therefore the triangle GHI is congruent to triangle JHI, and because of side congruency test. And in part number 2, we have to, they said if my HJI is equal to 60, that angle, and GIH is 40, find the GHI. We have to find the GHI. We have to find that angle. Now students, you can see that is a triangle, and that because the both triangle are congruent to each other, and angle J is equal to angle G, and that angle is equal to 60, and by you know that the internal angle of the triangle are equal to 180, we can subtract 40 and 60 from 180, we can find the angle H, and then we can write it like that. Since part number 2, triangle JIH is congruent to triangle GHI, and IJHHJI angle is equal to 60 degrees, and we can find the angle GHI, and by subtracting 180, subtract the 60 and 40 degree, and because the three angles of the triangle are equal to 180 degree, and they comes to that side, and they are we subtracted from 180, and by subtracting it we get 80 degree, that become 100, and subtracting the 100 from 180 we get the 80 degree, and that is the answer of part number 2. And now students, the question number 6 is solved, and now students, the questions of intermediate level is finished. I hope you understand these questions very well. Thank you very much students for watching my videos. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.